Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. This morning, our entire research team is joining in to help us prep for the day and tell us what are the stocks that we need to look at as we begin the day's trade. The SGX Nifty, of course, is suggesting that it's going to be a bright shade of red today, down about 130 points. But Anuj, what are you looking at today?
Well, Sonia, my sense is if the market starts, way down and if it has to recover, then you focus on relative strength. I measure at relative strength with stocks which normally bounce off from their 20-day moving average. So I think IndusInd Bank clearly has been one of the stronger stocks. It's seen a sharp correction in the last couple of days, but if gets towards the 20-day moving average, perhaps that could be the one which could bounce. And State Bank of India has really been the go-to stock in the market. For the last 1 year, every time it's dipped towards the 20 and 50-day moving average, if you bought it there, you've made money. So I think that would be the other stock. Basically, focus on relative strength. And if these stocks also start to fall, then you know that perhaps a deeper correction is coming. So that's why I'll watch out for these names. Let's now go across to Mangalam. He's watching out for Britannia. Mangalam?
Well, an important development taking place at Britannia, and you would know that, in FMCG companies, the leadership changes are extremely crucial. And out here, there has been a management change where Varun Berry, who's the current MD and CEO, has now been elevated to the Executive Vice Chairman and Managing Director. And in place has joined Rajneet Kohli as an Executive Director and the Chief Executive Officer. Now, this news is not entirely unknown because the company was looking for a CEO ever since Gunjan Shah, who was the erstwhile COO's exit in 2021. Gunjan Shah, of course, now heads Bata. But at the same time, there were murmurs of Rajneet Kohli joining as well. This is a good appointment because Rajneet was earlier heading the Domino's India business at Jubilant Foodworks. Is crucial to have, taken Domino's to around 1,600 outlets. And apart from that as well, he has 25 years of FMCG experience, having worked at both Coca-Cola as well as Asian Paints. Importantly, analysts view this as a positive move on two accounts. One, the company gets fresh legs to pursue the total foods company outlook that Britannia has. And secondly, it also paves the way for future leadership of the company, primarily as we prepare for transition, as Varun Berry's term itself ends in 2024 on March 31st. So for FMCG companies, important to watch management changes. This is extremely crucial. And FMCG anyway has been a relative outperformer in the markets currently.
All right, Mangalam, thank you very much. So we'll keep an eye, Britannia, as markets open today, and how it takes to the news flow. But we have a bunch of stocks with news flow. PI Industries, of course, is top of the list. Nimesh had put it out as part of his D Street chatter in terms of what's expected to come. There's been some promoter selling, but there are other names as well. Vivek has got that list. He's standing by. Vivek, good morning.
Well, good morning. Yes, that's right. PI Industries is in focus. Now, remember, the promoter Mayank Singhal actually held close to 18.47 stake, at the end of the June quarter. So what he's done is he's actually paired 0.7% stake, and it's a clutch of domestic as well as international names that have actually picked up stake in the Friday's block deal. So you're talking about names like Sundaram Mutual Fund, BNP Paribas. You're also talking about Morgan Stanley Fund and Mirae Asset Management Fund, some of the key names that have picked up stake. The other stock to keep an eye out for is Suzlon. Now, the company has approved a fundraising of a sizable amount. It's almost 1,200 crore that the company is looking to raise via the rights issue. The issue price is at 5 rupees a share, which is a steep 45% discount to the last closing price. And when you're talking about the entitlement ratio, for every for every 21 shares that you hold, you're entitled to 5 shares. The other one, of course, is Coal India. Some aggressive positive commentary coming in from Coal India management. What they're saying is that the company is looking to sign memorandum of understanding with 3 major PSUs for coal to chemical products. So some positive news flow coming in there. They're also looking to set up 4 surface gasification projects, and this again is the reason why Coal India will remain in focus.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. So that's on Coal India, but let's move on. Vahishta is also joining in to give us some more stocks that are in the news. Vahishta, good morning.
Good morning, Sonia. The first stock is Anupam Rasayan. This is with respect to the 12th September fire incident which took place at their plant in Sachin GIDC, wherein the Gujarat Pollution Control Board have issued directions for the closure of the plant, and the Gujarat Pollution Control Board have directed a payment of 1 crore as interim environmental compensation. Moving on to Lakshmi Organic, wherein the plant, which is located in Mahad, which is in Maharashtra, has resumed the operations post their maintenance shutdown. So some good news. Moving on to Natco Pharma, where Natco has launched the CTPR under the brand name of NatGen in the Indian market, and the current market size of CTPR containing products in India is approximately 2,000 crores. As of FY22, the agrochem business was less than 1% of sales, while CTPR could be more than 10% of the whole agrochem business. So definitely something good for the stock. And the last stock on my radar is SpiceJet, where the NCLT has directed as SpiceJet to respond to the insolvency plead within 2 weeks. So NCLT has issued a notice to SpiceJet based on an application which was filed by one of the operational creditors of the airline, which is Acres Buildwell, and the company claims that the outstanding dues are to the tune of approximately 3 crores, which are owed to it by SpiceJet.
All right. Thank you very much, Varishta, for that. Now, oil prices have come off significantly, and that is a piece of news which we can take happily, which we will take happily. ONGC and Oil India, though I'm not sure how they will take it. They'd like oil prices higher, not lower. Sonal is here with that impact. Sonal, hi.
That's right. We would take it positively, but not so much for ONGC and Oil India. As you pointed out, oil prices, they fell sharply last week, especially, and Friday as well. They saw a 5% cut, leading to an 8-month low levels on crude oil prices. They have recovered a tad bit, however, still remain under pressure. Crude prices, as I said, were down close to 5% in Friday's trading session. Fears of rising interest rates, of course, that's spooking the global economy and crude oil prices as well. And US dollar is also at the highest level in more than 2 decades. So that is something that is impacting the crude oil prices as well. Expect ONGC and Oil India to see some red. However, oil marketing companies, they have not cut prices despite cut in crude oil prices, sitting at marketing gains now. So these companies tend to benefit here.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for that. Here's a quick recap then of all the stocks that we're looking at. Stocks with positive news flow today. There's Britannia, Lakshmi Organics, Natco Pharma, Suzlon Energy and Coal India. While stocks with negative news flow, there's Anupam Rasayan, SpiceJet, PI Industries, ONGC, as well as Oil India. Let's take a quick break. Up next, Gurmeet